I am Jana Bosonko, and this is QTV News coming to you live from our studios along Caraba Avenue. Thank you for joining us, and we apologize for the late start. Now, here are the main local and sports news headlines. An announcement from State House says that all national public holidays will be standardized from now on. The first to be affected will be this week's Idul Adha, which will now see Tuesday 20th and Wednesday 21st observed as public holidays. Dr. Usman Jah, the chairman of the National Hajj Commission of the Gambia, has said that the day of Arafat, which falls on the 19th of July 2021, is the most important day of Hajj. All three ferries at the Banjul Barra crossing points are operating to help deal with a record number of passengers crossing to Barra. This according to the officials at the ferry service at GPA. Commuters traveling to various destinations to celebrate Idul Adha with family members are faced with a hike in transport fares. A Guinean national is in police custody for allegedly claiming he was attacked and injured by armed robbers who made away with $600,000 from his forex exchange bureau. In sports news, the Gambia under-18 team has won a silver and bronze medal in the male and female category in a 3-on-3 basketball competition held in DR Congo. Those were the main headlines, and now the news in detail. Do stay with us. Thank you for joining us, and we once again apologize for the late start. Now, President Adama Barrow has ordered the standardization of national public holidays for effective and efficient planning henceforth. Both Idul Adha Tobaski and Idul Fitr Korite will be two-day public holidays. As a result, the President has declared Tuesday 20th July 2021 and Wednesday 21st July 2021 as public holidays throughout the Gambia in observance of the Muslim feast of Idul Adha. In a future news bulletin, we give details of all the public holidays affected by this. Now, Dr. Usman Jah, the chairman of the National Hajj Commission of the Gambia, has said that the day of Arafat, which falls on the 19th of July 2021, is the most important day of Hajj. More in this report.
This year, only 60,000 vaccinated citizens or residents of Saudi Arabia have been allowed to perform the Hajj due to the coronavirus. The number is far bigger than last year, which was initially limited to 1,000, but eventually authorities allowed 10,000 people from within the kingdom to perform Hajj. Imam Jah, the chairman of the National Hajj Commission, says the move by the Saudi authorities is good, considering the continuous spread of the virus.
Islam is here to protect the life of a human being. And if COVID-19 is spreading and is a killer disease, for example, or killer virus, for example, and the experts sees that we should, avoid gatherings and closeness and so on. And I think it is very sensible to take such a decision by Saudi government.
On the significance of Arafat, Imam Jah said today is the most important day of Hajj and explains why.
If you witness it, it's a very nice day. It's a day of humbleness. You feel God in your heart because it reminds you the day of Arafat. Although we haven't died yet and we haven't witnessed the day of Yom Al-Qiyamah, but it reminds you the day of Yom Al-Qiyamah, if you learn how Yom Al-Qiyamah goes, because all Muslims will gather there. You cannot differentiate the poor and the wealthy, those who have position and those who are not, those who are strong, those who are weak, all are the same.
Imam Jah prayed for Muslims that intended on doing the Hajj this year and could not due to the coronavirus.
feel sorry to all intending pilgrims for not being able to perform Hajj. But let us continue praying and expecting that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will rescue this world to make Hajj happen in the next year, inshallah.
Conducting Hajj is the fifth pillar of Islam to be performed by every eligible Muslim at least once in their lifetime. The day of Arafat falls on the 9th day of Dhul al-Hijjah of the lunar Islamic calendar and the second day of Hajj pilgrimage. The day after Arafat is Eid al-Adha. On this holiest day, Muslim pilgrims will make their way from Mina to Mount Arafat, also known as the Mountain of Mercy, Jabal al-Rahmah. According to Islamic tradition, the hill is the place where the Islamic prophet Muhammad stood and delivered the farewell sermon to the Muslims who had accompanied him for the Hajj towards the end of his life. Here, pilgrims will pray, repent and seek forgiveness from Allah, and listen to Islamic scholars giving sermons. A pilgrim's Hajj is considered invalid if they do not spend the afternoon on Arafat. For QTV News, Lolly M. Kamara.
As Muslims in the Gambia prepare to celebrate the Muslim feast Eid al-Adha, also known as Tobaski, on Tuesday, officials at the Ferry Service Department of the GPA have revealed that all 3 ferries at the Banjul Barra crossing points are operating to help deal with a record of number of passengers crossing to Barra. And Sumana Isonyasi has the rest of that.
The ferry terminal in Banjul is not new to overcrowding, as it is one of the busiest crossing points in the country. However, the Muslim feast of Eid al-Adha, which is a major event in the Muslim calendar, set to be celebrated in the Gambia on Tuesday, has added pressure onto the GPA Management and Ferry Services Department, who reacted by authorizing all 3 ferries to operate to meet the demands of passengers, many of whom are crossing to the North Bank and other parts of the country to celebrate the feast with their families. Red Cross volunteers and personnel from various security outfits have also been deployed to help maintain law and order and enforce mask-wearing regulations and offer humanitarian service. Speaking to QTV, Lamin Jawara, the General Manager for Ferry Services, says the record number of passengers crossing since Friday is unprecedented, adding that the GPA appreciates their compliance with the security and cooperation with staff on the ground.
Us in this country, availability of ferries is one of the biggest issues we have here, and that one is assured. The other thing we can give to the customers is we are giving all the customers 50% discount on rams only. As far as the fares are concerned, it's $25 per passenger. Unfortunately, we are not able to provide any discount for that.
Mary Sankang and Modu Karajob, 2 of several passengers we spoke to, expressed satisfaction with GPA's decision to have all 3 ferries operating and giving passengers a 50% discount for their rams.
Now we thank God. The situation here has greatly improved and we don't have to sit here for hours waiting for the ferry. I just want to thank GPA for their foresight, as this is very busy period for everyone.
My message is for everyone to follow the advice of the Ministry of Health and our religious leaders. If they ask us not to do anything, we should comply, as otherwise this will compromise all the efforts that have been made over the years to maintain peace and fight the virus. Omar Burture, a senior official at the GPA Ferries Department, says the GPA remains committed to meeting customer satisfaction. As such, he says an extra ticket selling point has been created all within the ticket selling area, as the number of passengers drastically increased on Friday.
What we have now, we just block so that we can have the number of passengers supposed to be on board the ferry. Normally we take all manifest, those getting inside, so that we can know the number of people on board the ferry. We have 2 to 3 loading capacity. What we do is, if there are lesser passengers, we took more trucks and more cars. If there are minimal passengers, we took only cars and passengers.
The decision to have all 3 ferries operating for 24 hours during the Tobaski period has been welcomed by passengers, many of whom would usually queue for hours awaiting their turn to cross to the other side of the river. Answane Sonyansi for QTV News.
It's good to know that the GPA fulfilled its promise. Now, still on Eid al-Adha, commuters traveling to various destinations to celebrate Eid al-Adha with family members have faced an increase in fares in many garages in the Kanifing municipality and the West Coast region. Our reporter Omar Pijalo visited a garage in Bundung and the GTSC Bose garage, and this is his report.
Passengers traveling to the provinces for the Tobaski feast have condemned the high increase in fares. Drivers claim they increased the fares, claiming that on their way back, they return empty with few passengers and that the increase will compensate for the lack of passengers on their return journey. They also say passengers are going back to their families and that only few will return to the urban centers in the combos. Omar Jan, a driver at the Bundung garage, explained why they cannot take a risk and make losses. If we take a full trip to Basse, for example, and return empty without passengers, we will be running at a loss. So we are operating to meet the daily returns of the vehicle owner. Reacting to the unofficial tariff increasement, Musa Job and Adama Kamara, both passengers at the Bundung garage, said most of the people going back to their families come to the combos to work and support their families in the rural area. They said Tobaski gives them an opportunity to reunite with family and loved ones, but the increment in fares has discouraged them to embark on such a trip.
I'm paying $300. Actually, normally when I'm going there, I normally paid $175.
Due to the prayer, that is why, yes, they increased the fare to $400.
Kajali Trawale and Sajo Jeng, both passengers at the GTSC bus station in Kanifing, said they would rather spend nights at the bus station than pay the fares increase, adding if people work and earn something but could not return to their families because of high fares, then this is a cause for concern. Yusfa Jobate, an other desperate passenger, said he had been roaming from vehicle to vehicle trying to negotiate fares with drivers. But with the increment, he may not be able to go back to the village because he cannot afford to pay the new fares.
I'm looking for a good price to go to my village, because all these cars they are charging more than $300 to go to Pakaliba. So I wanted to go to Pakaliba, but right now what they are charging is too much for me.
Dembo Jallo, a passenger at the GTSC, expressed dissatisfaction of the company's service during the festive period.
Yeah, I've been here since 12. Since 12, but still we couldn't find a bus to go. And they have brought a one white bus here, a school bus. And we are about to join the bus. One man came out from inside there, telling us that, no, this is special. You cannot join this bus. This is special. It's going to Bilkamba, but the fare is $400.
The PRO of Bundung Garage, Ali Wilan, said he is not aware of any fare increase because the authority at the garage has not told any driver to increase the fares. He added that those affected have the right to report the matter to the nearest police station to quell the fare increase. During a pandemic situation when most of the Gambian families are struggling with financial challenges, the fares are $500 for a person from Bundum to Basse, and the minimum a passenger pays for a luggage is $100. The government issued a nationwide tariff for passenger transport fares, which fixed the fares from Bundum to Basse for Gele vehicles at $200. The fare now is more than twice the tariff for a passenger traveling from Banjul to Basse. Most people take gifts to their families in the rural area to celebrate the feast. However, due to the increase in fares, most of them may decide not to go back home as it will be difficult for them. Reporting for QTV News, I am Omar P. Jallo.
From that story by Omar P. Jallo, we will now go for a short commercial break. When we return, we have local news and sports news as well. Do stay tuned.
Join the Gambia's fastest growing network and enjoy high-speed 4G LTE. Dial *335# to subscribe to QCell's 4G LTE service. There's no need to swap your SIM. QCell, Senior Boss. We innovate, others follow.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. If you're just tuning in, this is QTV News and I am Jenna Basonko. Now, a Guinean national is in police custody for allegedly providing the police with false information, claiming that he was attacked and injured by armed robbers who made away with $600,000 from his forex exchange bureau. Momodu Lamin Choi reports. Some viewers...
Suspect, named as Mamadou Jang Jallo, said to be in his late 40s. On July 5th, the police received a report of a purported robbery in Banjul involving the suspect in his forex exchange bureau. The PR of the Gambia Police Force shares with the press details of the 600,000 robbery claim.
He is somebody who operates a bureau de change called the AMJ, if I remember well. That bureau de change, according to him, somebody called him on the phone and requested that he needs to change CFA, a huge amount of CFA to Dallas. And so as a result of this, he had an appointment with this individual. And so according to him, the following day, 2 individuals appeared at his bureau de change, and so these individuals, soon as they entered into the bureau, they attacked him, and then they assaulted him, and they robbed him of $600,000.
These are the crime scene pictures of the incident we obtained from the police. The pictures appear to verify the claims the suspect made to the police that he was attacked by armed robbers who inflicted serious injuries, including on his head and hands, and lying unconscious on the blood-stained floor. However, after an investigation, the police detected that the suspect had provided them with false information with the intention to deceive.
So at the end of the day, we found out that most of the revelation, most of the complaint that he has given, none of these things are valid or truthful at the end of the day. And we realized that he decided to do all this because he had owed certain people some money. He borrowed 200,000 from somebody and another person, and he promised to pay these monies on time, and he failed to do this. And at the end of the day, he is looking for a story to explain to this individual as to what is the reason why he could not pay them or their monies on time.
It was revealed that the suspect owes $500,000 to 2 individuals. The PR of the Gambia Police Force reveals that the suspect had confessed to police investigators that he had embezzled the said loaned amount, and that his intention was to set up a plan as a cover-up for being unable to repay the loan.
And of course, like he already explained, we went through all these things with him, and finally he agreed and admitted of his crimes. And this is why, hence the reason why we are saying that people should be cautious, and we're cautioning everybody to not to just buy in any story that these people come up with. So you can see this all over.
The suspect, having allegedly self-inflicted the injuries, was admitted at the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, and it was after his release that he was invited for questioning by the police. According to the police PRO, the suspect, Mamadou Jang Jallo, has now been charged with providing the police with false information and will soon be taken to court for his offense. Momodu Lamin Choi, QTV News.
Interesting. Now, after 2 years of public hearings at the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparations Commission, with sometimes startling revelations, I went out and about to get public reaction on the end of the public hearings and the recommendations. Part of the mandate of the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparations Commission is for the establishment of the historical record of the nature, causes, and extent of violations and abuses of human rights violations committed from July 1994 to January 2017. Also, to give an opportunity to victims to relate their accounts of the violations and abuses suffered, and to investigate violations. This has been achieved through live televised public hearings, through which some misconceptions have been cleared and beliefs changed. For Bakari Jame, the TRRC public hearings are a lesson for Gambians to always be honest.
I may say it's not bad, it's good. I may say it's good because, it has clicked our mind to think positively, that whatever you are doing, you should have to think that there would be accountability for it. So it would be better, and I would have to advise all my fellow Gambians, wherever you are, you have to behave. Because it is not like whatever you are in will be with you for the rest of your life. There can be changes.
The TRRC also has the mandate to promote healing and reconciliation. And for Olujuv, there is a huge chance for total reconciliation in the Gambia if the right steps are taken.
I think we can reconcile things, my believing. But you know, it's a matter of different families, not only one. Maybe it doesn't affect me. I could say, yes, let's do so. Maybe it affects somebody else, and you know, they don't understand. So it's something we have to try and put together and come as one and make sure we secure our nation for our generation to come.
Now that TRRC public hearings are over, the Commission is expected to make recommendations for the establishment of appropriate preventive mechanisms, including institutional and legal reforms. Most of the individuals we spoke to urged the government to implement the recommendations of the Commission with no fear or favor.
The recommendation of the TRRC should always be approved. And at this, the recommendation should be implemented. Because when you want to say truth and reconciliation, when you want to reconciliate, you have to accept your evil deeds as a person that was the perpetrator, and at the same time, so that the hearts of the victims will be at ease, and they can have the portion into their hearts for them to forgive.
Part of the activities of the TRRC is to provide reparations for victims, and so far $50 million has been given to the Commission by the government, which cannot cover the cost of the entire reparations process. At a recent press conference, the Commission's Deputy Chairperson Adelet Sause said the TRRC was owed $168 million it had been promised by government. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jenna Vasonko. Coming up next is sports news. The Gambia under-18 team has won a silver and a bronze medal in the male and female category in a 3-on-3 basketball competition held in DR Congo over the weekend. Our sports reporter Mamudu Gajaga has been monitoring developments, and he files in this report.
Gambia's women settled for the silver medal after losing the final 16-9 to Mali in the 3-on-3 basketball competition. The ladies gave it their best shot, but Mali ladies appeared stronger and more experienced. Despite falling short of winning the gold medal in the 9-nation competition, Awa Jawara, the captain of the Gambia female team, was not despondent.
After a long journey, it has ended up with a fruitful one. Feel honored and privileged to be a participant taking part of this competition representing our homeland, the Gambia. And for the first time in history, the Gambian female basketball team is coming home with a silver medal, which is a very big honor. Honestly, it's a very big thing.
Captain Jawara says they could have done better with greater exposure through participation in international competitions. She also calls for investment in basketball.
We need to be considered, to be motivated, and to be exposed in order to raise this flag higher. We really can raise the Gambian flag higher through basketball. We need to be encouraged, not only by the government, but by different institutions. I think it's high time investment should be done in basketball.
The male team defeated Comoros 21-5 in the third-place playoff, securing the bronze medal. They suffered a setback as one of them, who was a backup, was injured. This forced the others having to play under pressure of having to do more than usual. Paul Baben captains the side and tells us more.
Unfortunately, due to some circumstances, we were one man down and we came and played with only 3 players, whereas in other countries we are playing with 4 players. We did all our best, but unfortunately, that was how God planned it. So we just keep up the faith and try again another time.
Paul also echoed the call for more funding in basketball in the country, saying this will improve players and team performance to achieve better results.
The things we need as basketball players to improve ourselves, which are proper training facilities, equipment, much help from the government and from the general public, and also sponsorship from the private sector, and which will not only help us as basketball players, but also help us to improve our game so that we can represent the country in a better condition.
It is to be hoped the participation and medals gained in this competition could mean the revival of Gambian basketball. There is now a competitive league, which has resumed after close to 2 years without a league. Mumudu Gajaga, QTV News.
Before we end this news bulletin, let's take a quick look at our main headlines. An announcement from State House says that all national public holidays will be standardized from now on. The first to be affected will be this week's Eid al-Adha, which will see Tuesday 20th and Wednesday 21st observed as public holidays. Dr. Usman Jah, the chairman of the National Hajj Commission of the Gambia, has said that the day of Arafat, which falls on the 19th of July 2021, is the most important day of Hajj. All 3 ferries at the Banjul Barra crossing points are operating to help deal with a record number of passengers crossing to Barra, according to officials at the ferry service at the GPA. Commuters traveling to various destinations to celebrate Eid al-Adha with family members are faced with a hike in transport fares. A Guinean national is in police custody for allegedly claiming he was attacked and injured by armed robbers who made away with $600,000 from his forex exchange bureau. In sports news, the Gambia under-18 team has won a silver and a bronze medal in the male and female category in a 3-on-3 basketball. Well, that is all we have for you in this edition of QTV News. Thank you so much for watching and happy Tobaski. Join us at 10 for another bulletin. Thanks for watching.